It's not possible. I didn't say it would be easy, Neo.
You put up can you share that since I couldn't?
Yes, let me, sorry, I had
That's
it up.
okay.
Yeah, let me go ahead and find and pull that up.
And you do have medical and dental, correct, Ms. McDavid?
Well, no, I had to enroll her in the dental, and I would need to do it like by Friday. But
Okay,
that's not
but
a
you
problem.
have
I
it
can get her in
available.
there.
You have it
Yeah,
available.
I have it available. Yeah, I can get her
Okay.
in there. Mm-hmm.
All right, coming in. We're doing it right now. I got the screen up. Sorry.
That's okay.
There you go.
Okay, so for the medical plan, do you have her on the HMO or the PPO?
The PPO.
Okay, so your cost for that is $158.54, and then you're not married, correct?
No.
Okay, so the only other person that's on here is this child, correct?
Correct.
And so to add her, the total is $306.95. Now, is that a month?
That is biweekly. I'm sorry, I want to make sure
Bi-weekly.
that is
Okay.
biweekly.
Okay. And can you put this one down and show the dental so we can get that cost, please? Ooh. Okay. So for you, it'd be the 557 and adding her makes the total of 1397.
Correct.
And that's also bi-weekly?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Let me write these down real quick before we go off the screen. Okay. Now, Miss McDavid, does Mr. Urson have a degree?
Yes, he has a bachelor's and a master's.
Okay. And what is his bachelor's in?
Oh, I cannot recall what the bachelor's is in. I know his master's is in business administration.
Okay. So it's your contention that if he is not currently working, or if he's just working part-time somewhere, that he is intentionally underemployed?
Correct. Since I've known him, never known him. When I first met him, he was a teacher and a coach for the education system. He never took anything, like a job paying like a part-time, unless it was strictly just a part-time thing. But he always had a full-time salary employer that he always did.
Okay. Now, are you familiar with his hold on, let me figure out how to do this. Do you have a Facebook page?
Me? Yes.
Yes. Do you have a Facebook page?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Okay. And are you able to access Mr. Urson's Facebook page?
We're not friends on there, so I mean, I'm sure he has it open, like mine is open to the public.
Okay. Well, have you ever taken any pictures of his Facebook page?
I'm
Okay.
more than sure we both have, but yes.
Okay. So can you see the screen I'm sharing?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. This Facebook entry, the first one are you friends with a Jonice Enjoy Life Miller?
No, I don't know who that person is.
Okay. Well, did you provide this picture from this Facebook page? Were you the one who took this screenshot?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And Shamar, and it references Shamar Urson. Do you know that the Shamar Urson that was highlighted in here is the Mr. Urson that you have a child with?
Yes.
Okay, and it shows that at some point in March he was selling turkey legs for $20 a piece.
Correct.
And do you know how often he does that?
No, I do not. I know in the past he's, occasionally do catering, things of that nature, but I can't tell you how often.
Okay. Did he do catering when y'all were together?
Yes, off and on.
Okay. Do you have any idea how much he made when he was catering off and on?
Like right off the top of my head, no. I mean, I can for sure look up some things. But
But right now you don't.
yeah, I wouldn't be able to tell you off the top of my head now. No.
Okay. Now these are some pictures that are from Mr. Urson's Facebook page. Is that correct? Of the whatever kind of dog this is, French Bulldog.
Yes.
And did you take these screenshots as well?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know whether or not he sells these dogs?
Of course. What is it right there? Just in time for Mother's Day. Mother's Day. French Bulldogs.
Okay.
They're
I
for
just need a
sale. They're
yes
not
or
up to
no.
look at.
Okay. I just need a yes or no. Do you know how much he sells them for?
Every puppy would be a little different because it depends on that actual, you know.
Do you know an average on what he sells them for?
The minimum that I've known for this type of dog to run would be around 5,500 at the bare minimum. They can go as high as 20,000. Some can be more.
And was he selling these when y'all were together?
Not this style, no, because he would breed them and train them, but he had some that were regular pets that he would spend good money on for the pets. But doing it like he's doing now, no.
Okay, so you don't know how many he would sell at a time or a year
Like
or a
not
month?
right now, no. Not right now,
Okay.
no. I can't say if
Okay.
he sold 10 today or in the past 10 days. I couldn't tell you that part.
Okay. And you said that when y'all were together, he was training them. Did he do that for pay?
Well, he would do that. That was just something on the side that he would do, like with catering, just having an extra. But that wasn't
Do you know
like a
how much it wasn't his full-time job, but do you know how much
definitely not.
he made a week or a month training these dogs?
No, I can't tell you that amount. Like, not to be exact, because I didn't really get into that. Because, like I said, he had those type of dogs as pets too. So when he would do it, sometimes it was helping out as well as doing it. My screen got stuck. Can you still hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, awesome. But yeah, no. I'm not too sure on the exact amount. I can tell you how much the dogs would be valued at sometime, but I can't tell you what the actual pay he would collect himself for that.
Okay. Now, to the issue of the non-disclosure, you had said it was okay to put your address in there, but you didn't understand that you were going to have to put any future addresses in there. Is that correct?
Absolutely not. I understood that you were asking me, did I want to did I have an issue with him having the Falls County address or my telephone number or my email? I specifically stated that I've been having that before I've ever met him. So that's something that he automatically knows. Whether you put that in the docket or not, he knows that already. But I let it be known for the record, anything additional, like whether it was my employer, secondary, even a third, address that I might have, that was something completely different. I did not want to be disclosed. And then when I seen the court docket, that's when I seen that it was additional information on there. And I'm like, this is not what I agreed to. And I also got an email about taking the family violence indicator out, in which I'm like, no, because I didn't have a misunderstanding of it. To answer your question, no, I knew exactly what I was saying, but I specifically said I didn't want anything additional than that.
Okay. Well, I spoke to the
address.
attorney that had done the original part of the order, and he did not recall any of that. But so you're asking.
Well, these are recorded, correct? They are recorded.
Today, you are asking today to have none of your information disclosed in future orders, correct?
Correct.
And can you tell the court what safety concerns or issues you have?
It's overstreet. I'm going to stop you, slow you down for a second. Here's the deal, Ms. McDavid. You don't ask questions, you answer questions. Folks, we got started 2 hours late, and I don't plan on being here after 4:30 this afternoon, so we got 50 minutes to do this case.
Okay.
So let's hustle it up and let's get it done, all right? Because again,
okay.
And ma'am, again, you just listen to the question, answer the question, stop. Thank you.
Can you tell the court any safety concerns you have regarding your address in the court order? and your employment?
Yes, because I've had run-ins where with Shamar that I have provided to Ms. Nora as well as to my attorney, Ms. Greenwood, where Mr. Urson and I have had several different altercations where he's had harassed me. He's came to my employer before, and also police involvement where we're called out to different residencies and different addresses that we've been involved at, and because of being violent with me or harassing or giving me threat and gestures. So therefore, no, I would not want that out.
Okay. And have any of those occurred in the last 2 years?
Yes, back in December, I informed Nora before we ever went to court in March of that, where he told me he was gonna hit me, basically. Better words to put it.
Okay. Was he at your house when he told you he was going to hit you?
No, it was over the phone, and because I was telling him about coming to Harley's Christmas program, and he and I didn't see eye to eye because he wanted to take her off or whatnot about, like the time frame, because he didn't want her to be at school or whatnot. And I'm like, but they're doing after the program, they're doing an activity, the whole class is, and so he was not in agreement with that. Neither here nor there, but yes. So I did inform Nora, and Nora just informed me that basically in the event of something like that, if that took place, just only thing I could do is call the police. I didn't have to call the police. He did come, and that was in December of 2023. So he did come, but he and I didn't speak. He was right there with Harley. I was right there with Harley. It was no, I will say it was no altercation there, but we did not communicate.
Okay. When was the last time you had to call the police because of an incident?
For just me and Mr. Urson?
Yes, yes.
Oh, it's been maybe 2021. The exact time I remember was like July of 2021 to be exact. Matter of fact, no, that was at the Walmart where he assaulted me, and Walmart called the police because it was on the video camera.
And that was in 2021.
That was July of 2021.
Have you had any other more recent times?
No, because our relationship ended shortly after that, because the next one was maybe like that October of 2021, where he had locked me outside. No, matter of fact, it was November. I'm sorry. No, it was November, where he was pouring lighter fluid around the home, where me and my daughter was in, and I called the police, Dallas County. Miss Nora does have those records for that.
Okay. And have you, I know he has several protective orders against him. Have you ever filed for protective order against him?
No.
Okay. Are there, in the last 2 years, are there any other incidences you think the court needs to be aware of?
Something that I've already provided everything, so I can't think of anything right now.
What you told Miss Nora, the judge is not going to know. So you got to tell the judge, because the judge is the one who makes this decision.
Oh, okay.
So,
I do apologize.
That's okay. If there's something else that you think the judge needs to know that you haven't already told him.
Okay. What I need to know is whether or not he's ever been criminally convicted of an act of family violence against you specifically, ma'am.
Recently, no. Other than telling me about
ever, ma'am, ever. Has he ever been convicted?
Convicted? No.
All right. So there was no conviction for that incident at the Walmart in 2021?
No.
Okay. Thank you.
Your Honor, I have nothing further.
All right, then. Thank you very much, Mr. Greenwood. You're our witness.
Thank you, Your Honor. Okay. Sorry. All right. Ms. McDavid, can you please unmute yourself?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you. All right. So we're just going to speed things along. We have a short time. And so are you asking this? Are you trying to deny Urson, the father of your child, the ability to see his daughter? Are you trying to strip him of any rights? Okay. And does it concern you, but are you concerned about what has how the visitation have went since the temporary orders were put into effect?
I don't think she can hear you.
Okay. Ms. McDavid?
So David, you can turn off your video if that'll help with your bandwidth problems you're maybe having. So you can
Yeah.
them.
I was going to suggest that.
Still can't hear us.
Let me see if I can chat and
She
tell her.
needs to log in and come back, to log out and come back in.
It might be just quicker to kick her out and bring her back in. But let me see if I can. Ms. McDavid, can you hear us now?
I see her. It says in a minute.
Now she's in here twice.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, are you able to hear me now?
Yes, much better.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, great. I don't know what happened there.
It's okay. All right. So, got it. All right. So my question to you was, since the temporary orders were effective, put in place on April 9th, 2024, do you have some concerns as to what has taken place and when it comes to the possession and access?
Do I have concerns? Yes.
Okay. And in the possession, when it comes to possession and access, your daughter's paternal grandmother was supposed to supervise your daughter while Mr. Urson was in possession. And did you feel that was done?
No.
Okay. And does it concern you that he wasn't properly supervised while your daughter was there?
Yes.
Okay. And in particular, as you heard Ms. Farah discuss, she mentioned that she was told from your daughter that in one situation where she wasn't supervised, she was at Mr. Urson's girlfriend's home, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And so with the fact that the paternal grandmother hasn't been able to adequately supervise the visits, are you asking this court to move the visits here in Texas?
Yes.
Okay. And are you asking this court to for that visit to be one weekend? To take place either on either Friday. Well, it will be either Saturday or Sunday.
Yes.
Okay. So it would be one weekend out the month, and it will take place either on a Friday or a Saturday. Correct? Saturday or Sunday. Saturday. Okay. So I'm sorry, Saturday or Sunday. Okay. And are you asking that Mr. While he is visiting for that one, either that Saturday or Sunday, that the father of your child not have your daughter overnight? Correct. And that you'd prefer it to be for 8 hours even? Correct. Okay. And do you think that would be in the best interest, that since there's a supervision issue there, that it'd be best here in Texas? Yes. And then where in particular would you want that visit, if the court were to grant it, where would you want that visit to take place?
Preferably Falls County, but I know when we were in the breakout room, you guys told me something different,
okay.
like the surrounding areas or something. So,
well, this is what you would like. So what would you like? Where would you want the visit to take place?
Preferably Falls County area.
Okay, got it. All right. And you have enrolled Harley into school. She starts school in August, right?
Correct.
And she'll be starting, where will she be starting school in August?
Marlin.
Okay.
Marlin Elementary.
Okay. And are you you're asking this, just to confirm, you're asking this court for visitation to take place in Texas, and that for that visitation to be at the max 8 hours during one weekend, either a Saturday or Sunday.
Correct.
Okay. And were you made aware that Mr. Urson violated a protective order, pled guilty to a violation of protective order in April of 2024?
Yes.
Okay. And that he was in that protective order, he was asked to not, and is that protective order in the state, for the state of Louisiana or for the state of Texas?
State of Louisiana.
Okay. And in that, does it concern you that Mr. Urson has multiple violations of protective orders?
Yes, because my daughter did come back, as Nora stated, telling a lot. She did give a lot of specifics, and she did come out.
Ma'am, the answer to the question is yes. Don't go into details unless the lawyer takes you there. Thank you.
My question is, does it concern you that Mr. Urson has violated probation multiple times? I'm sorry, not probation, but violated a protective order multiple times?
Yes.
And the recent one that he's pled guilty in April 2024, that he that he was sentenced to supervised probation for 12 months. Are you aware of that?
Correct.
And that with that sentence came 6 months, a deferred jail sentence of 6 months.
Yes.
Okay. All right. And then there's also, there were some conditions that he's not supposed to have any contact with Lanika Revadur. And is your understanding that was his girlfriend or ex-girlfriend?
Yes.
And is it your position that since this went into, is it your position that, in your opinion, he signed this on April 16, 2024, that he, in your opinion, that he's still been in contact with his girlfriend?
Yes.
Okay. Are you concerned that if your daughter if visits were to continue in Louisiana, and since there's a protective order and he's seeing his daughter, that there may be a violent explosion that may take place?
Absolutely. Yes.
Okay. And is that why you're asking again for the visitations to be here in Texas?
Yes.
Okay. And do you want the visitations to be, since we're asking for temporary orders, are you asking for those visits to, well, until we have the next time, you're asking for the court to rule for it to be that, one day on a Saturday, Sunday, until we, one day out a month on Saturday and Sunday, until we return back for a final hearing?
Yes.
And when it comes to, Your Honor, I think okay, I'll just have it. And so you heard that in light of what's been going on, you still want your daughter to have a relationship with her father, correct?
Yes.
And in lieu of restricting his physical possession of the child, are you asking the court for him to at least have nighttime calls with his daughter?
You said at least have night calls?
Yes, have nighttime calls with his daughter.
Yeah, he can have calls with his daughter. Mm-hmm.
Okay, and you're open to making her available to have this nighttime call every night, maybe 7:30 during her bedtime?
Yeah, that's no problem.
All right. And with him also, I'm going to go back with him visiting. Are you asking the court for him to provide 24 hours notice or 48 hours notice?
Preferably 48 hours notice at least.
Okay. And why are you asking for 48 hours versus 24?
Because when school starts up, I'm looking at this is going to be kind of, even though it's temporary for a few months there, when school starts up, then that way I can know for sure, like, okay, what I would have to do or how to plan that
I'm sorry,
weekend.
you don't have to worry about that. What my standard is 72 hours anyway. Yeah, so you need at least 3 days to make sure things are ready. So yeah, I need 72 hours.
Perfect. Thank you, Your Honor. All right. And we've discussed insurance, and I just want to make sure that we go over that really quickly. You've had your daughter on, and you've provided health insurance for your daughter, correct?
Yes.
How long has your daughter been on your health insurance plan?
Since November of 2023.
Okay. And you have maintained it since then?
Since November, yeah.
Okay. And at no point in time have you lost health care for your daughter?
Not since then. I didn't have her on there at one point because he had her on there, and I just couldn't get the card, and then I put her on mine. But since I put her on mine, I've never taken her out.
And you do have access for dental insurance, and you're able to put her to enroll her into the dental insurance, dental and vision, right? Correct?
Correct. Yeah, I can get that on today.
And but that is time sensitive in regards to getting the permission to put her on dental insurance, correct?
Yeah, I can, like, I mean, when we get out of this, I can it's still business today. So as long as I do it between now and Friday, I can get that done.
So Friday is a hard deadline as to when you have to, if she's going to get dental and vision, you need to add her on by Friday, the latest. Okay.
Yeah.
And as for the disclosure and findings, are you concerned for your safety when it comes to Mr. Urson?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Has he ever showed up at your job unannounced?
The new one, no. In the past, yes.
Okay. Has he ever sent you any threatening text messages?
In the past, yes.
Okay. Other than your job, has he ever stalked? Has he ever stalked you?
In the past, yes.
Okay. And when you say in the past, how long ago was that?
Like 2021 and before, like in there. Okay. So in the last 2 years, popped up at my home or work. No.
Okay. All right. Your Honor, I'd like to pass the witness.
All right. Thank you very much. Ms. Farah, your witness.
Yes, sir. Now, Ms. McDavid, do you know if there is a current protective order against Mr. Urson?
I can't answer that one. I mean, I know of certain things, but I'm not too sure if there's a current one there.
Okay. Did you provide me with a current protective order against Mr. Urson protecting a individual by the name of Lionel Irons Jr.?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know who Lionel Irons Jr. is?
Know him personally, no, but know of who he is relevant wise, yes. It's his apparent girlfriend's ex-boyfriend.
Okay. So to the best of your knowledge, there's no protective order protecting the ex-girlfriend or you or anyone else other than Mr. Irons. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. But Mr. Urson currently is on probation for violating a protective order protecting his girlfriend, though, correct? Or was it protecting Mr. Irons as well?
No, it was Mr. Irons trying to protect the ex, which was Mr. Urson's current girlfriend, apparently. But the ex was trying to help, the current girlfriend from Mr. Urson. Mr. Urson was the violent one, and her ex came, which is Mr. Irons, to her rescue, I guess.
Okay, but my question is, the probation that he's on, which protective order did he violate? Was that protective order the one protecting Mr. Irons or the one protecting Miss Revader?
Ms. Rivader, that's the one, because it has no contact. He's not supposed to be in contact with her.
Okay. And ma'am, I'm showing you let's see here. I'll go ahead and mark it. I'm showing you what I am marking as attorney ad litem number 1. Let me go ahead and share my screen with you. I can figure out how to do that. Okay.
You want me to?
Okay. Ma'am, I'm showing you what I've marked as attorney ad litem's number 1. Do you recognize this document?
Yes.
And is this a correct copy of the records from the St. Charles Parish?
Yes.
And does it have the seal of the court, and it is a public record open to everyone's ability to pull that from the district clerk's records?
Yes.
Okay. We'd offer ad litem's number 1, Your Honor.
No objection, Your Honor.
Okay. Sorry, I couldn't. No objections, Ms. Overstreet?
No, Your Honor.
All right, then. All right. Are you there, Mr. Urson? Urson, you there, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right. Is there any legal reason ad litem's number 1 should not come in evidence, sir?
I'm sorry, one more time.
Do you have a legal reason why ad litem's number 1, the document that's up on the screen right now, should not come into legal evidence in this hearing, sir?
Yes, if I can elaborate on it.
Okay, sir. Now here's the deal. I know you're not a lawyer, but you are an MBA, so you know how this works. You know how this works. I got to have a legal objection to why this shouldn't come into evidence, not testimony as to why, what it is, and what the circumstances are. The circumstances are this is a legal document from a court in Louisiana that can be admissible in this court, and I need it for you to tell me why it's not admissible, sir.
Because it doesn't provide that I also had a restraining order on her as well.
Okay. Again, sir, that's not a legal objection. I know you're not a lawyer, but I had to have a lawyer reason why not to do it, sir. And so it is admitted. You may proceed at this time, Miss. Sorry, Helen. I'm sorry about that.
No worries.
I'm having a good one, Miss. Sorry about that. Go ahead and get submitted. Thank you. You can remove it.
All right. Yes, sir. And I did send that to the court for the court's records. I emailed it over, Your Honor.
All right. Then, Belinda, you emailed the Belinda. Yes, you'll print it out for me. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Proceed.
Okay. And Ms. McDavid, are you still there?
Yes, I am. I
Okay.
thought I was there.
Okay. And what are your concerns with regard to Mr. Urson not having complied with the conditions of the probation that we just had admitted as Exhibit 1?
Safety concerns that if you're still around that person, a specific person, and you're still showing that pattern of aggression, and if something ever happened and transpired and you have a toddler there that's not able to actually fend for herself like that in a time of need, especially if it's altercation going on and she's not able to do. And so that's a major safety concern for me.
Okay.
And because it's in another state as well.
Okay. Now, have you had any communication with Ms. Rivader?
She's reached out to me via text before, and she's also via social media reaching out to me with nonsense, actually. But actually, to actually talk to her, no. Like over the phone conversation, no, never have.
Okay. Pass witness, Your Honor.
All right. Anything on redirect, Ms. Overstreet?
No, Your Honor.
Anything else? Anything on recross, Ms. Greenwood?
No, Your Honor.
All right, then I'm gonna go ahead and let the state call the next witness at this time. Thank you.
I'd like to call Mr. Urson. Mr. Urson,
Yes, ma'am.
are you currently working?
Yes, ma'am.
Where are you working?
Now O'Reilly's,
And how much do you make an hour?
$14,
And how many hours a week are you working?
approximately 6 to 10.
And why are you not working full time?
Because full time wasn't available at the time of employment. Also, I am in school trying to become a veterinarian.
Okay. Now, do you have a master's in business administration?
That is correct.
Why are you not looking for full-time work in that field?
Because I'm in school currently trying to become a veterinarian.
Well,
My master's degree.
go ahead.
My master's degree was a part of me becoming a veterinarian and opening my own vet office.
Okay. Now, you realize that you have a child and you have a responsibility to support that child, correct?
Absolutely.
And do you think it'd be in the best interest of the child for you to go get a job making whatever you can make with a business administration job so that you can provide better support for your child than just six based on minimum wage presumption?
Can you rephrase that question, please?
Do you think it'd be in the best interest of this child for you to put off your veterinarian schooling so that you can get a job based on your wages, based on your education as a business administration person, so that your child can be better supported than based on the minimum wage presumption?
I was asked to pay $300 or something a month, and I didn't know, like, I can still provide that.
Okay. How long is your schooling going to take?
4 years.
And how many years have you taken so far?
I just finished my last prerequisite in April.
So you have
it's going to be 4
you have
years.
4 more years? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
And so you're not planning on working for 4 years except 6 to 10 hours a day? I mean, a week?
Ma'am, I can't predict the future. I plan to work. Yes, that's my plan. I've never not had a job, but it is time consuming with studies.
When was the last time you worked in a field where you used your master's degree?
Technically using my master's degree, I've never worked in the field using it.
Okay. You used to work for the Small Business Administration. Why did you quit that job?
Because I was shot by Arisha McDavid's cousin, and I was unable to go to work. I ran out of PTO or whatever. Like, they don't provide PTO. I'm sorry. And I didn't have any time donated.
Okay. Now, are you, until we can get all your wage information, when you get your W-2s back, are you saying you're okay with continuing to at least pay the $345 a month?
Not now.
Okay. And why not?
Because I don't know if my wages will cover it.
Okay. When was the last time you went and looked for a job besides this one at O'Reilly?
Actually, today.
Okay. Do you have an interview?
No, I don't.
Okay. Now, did you see the pictures from Facebook that showed that you were selling the dogs? Do you sell those dogs, the French bulldogs?
Not one of those pictures showed that I was selling a dog. It showed that I posted a dog being available, but not one showed that I was selling a dog.
Okay, what does it mean when it says on here? Hold on, let me pull it back up. Just in time for Mother's Day. Are you just giving them away for Mother's Day? What are you doing with those dogs?
What picture is it? Can you pull the
Hold
picture
on,
back up?
hold on,
Here's
I'm
the
trying
deal,
to share.
Mr. Thurston. Here's the deal. Answer the question.
Well, I can't answer the question because I work with multiple people with dogs, and I'm trying to determine if it's a dog for me or a dog for someone else.
Okay.
So,
Well,
like,
do you ever sell these dogs?
I have in the past, yes. I don't have any to sell now.
When was the last time you sold a dog?
Maybe 2022, 2021, somewhere around that time.
Okay. Now, this picture that you should be seeing it on the screen. It says Shamar Urson. Then it says just in time for Mother's Day 2024. New Orleans, Bulldog, French Bulldog. That wasn't a dog for sale that you were selling?
It is, but I currently still have none of those dogs have been sold.
Okay. And how much are you trying to sell these dogs for?
$1,500.
A piece?
Yes.
And how many do you have right now that you have for sale?
That one in the picture to the right that says Knockout X Thirst Trap.
Okay. What about the ones that are in the pictures for just in time for Mother's Day?
Well, that's one of the ones in the pictures. I decided to keep the other two. One is a male, one is a female.
Okay. And are you going to breed them?
I have no absolute answer until they're old enough and they're grown. These dogs are sold based on their structure and how they look and their DNA. If that is not all three checks aren't completed, then I don't sell them. That's not like a quality dog, it would be considered.
Okay. Now, do you also do catering?
I do catering every now and then. It's not a consistent thing. Not a consistent thing.
Okay. This picture here with the selling the turkey legs, was that you?
That was me assisting Jonice. She's a caterer. So I was helping her out. I was along a route. We have street parties, I guess would be the easiest way to describe it. And I was assisting her with it.
Okay. How often do you have these street parties?
The street parties go on often, but I don't have time to do it because I am in school.
How often do you help on the street parties?
I don't help often. That was the one time I did assist her.
Okay. And I guess we'll know more about what you make on the side when you are able to provide us with your tax income, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, did you sell a house in December on Pioneer Way in Lancaster, Texas?
I did.
And are you going to be able to provide us the next time with how much you paid for that house originally and how much you sold it for?
I can.
You can or you can't?
I'm really interested in how much you sold it for right now, please.
Okay. Sir, how much did you sell that house for?
I'm not aware of those numbers right now. I'm not in front of them.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Here's the deal, sir. Mr. Urshan, you're being invasive as all get out here, sir. All right.
I'm really not. I'm not trying to invade anything.
If you sold a house, you got a good idea how much you approximately sold it for, sir.
How
much you actually did you think? Just give me your best guess right now. So how much did you sell?
Maybe $240.
Okay. Is this the house right here, sir? I'm sharing this. I think I'm sharing the screen. Maybe not yet. Is this the house right here? 1828 yes. Pioneer Way. Okay. Now the Zestimate was $298.90. And it's from 272 to 326. Now, how much did you sell? You say you sold the house for?
I believe it was $240.
Okay. Well, I am going to ask you to put in the court, ask the court to order you to provide what you paid for this house and what you sold this house for and any improvements you did on the house for the next hearing, okay?
Okay, and can I ask what's the relevance?
Anything that you made on this house is income. That's why it's relevant.
Okay. So after like improvements and everything else, that's considered income?
Yes, but we want to see the receipts for the improvements.
Okay.
Now, you are currently physically and mentally able to make at least minimum wage and work at least 40 hours a week, correct?
Am I physically able to make minimum wage? One more time. I'm sorry.
Okay. Are you able to make minimum wage?
Yes, I make $14 an hour currently.
Okay. And are you physically capable of working 40 hours a week?
Well, like I said, I am. Well, no, I didn't say.
You have school, sir. I'm asking you if you are physically capable of working 40 hours a week.
You didn't allow me to finish my statement, so I didn't get to say anything before you cut me off.
Okay.
Currently I am in physical therapy. I was involved in a car accident too. And I am still doing rehab for that.
Okay, but that doesn't interfere with your job at O'Reilly?
I sit down at O'Reilly's.
Okay, so you could physically work 40 hours a week at a job you sat down at?
Yes.
Okay. I'm also going to ask the court to order that you provide medical evidence that you cannot work unless you're sitting down for the next hearing. Okay. Your Honor, I don't have anything further of Mr. Urson.
All right, Mr. Urson, I got some questions myself, sir. Where are you going to veterinary school, sir?
I'm currently applying to Tuskegee in Alabama, and I'm currently applying to Ross, and that's in the Caribbean islands.
You know, at this time, you have not been accepted for any slot in a veterinary school at this time?
Well, no, the program, they just opened up applications, I think 2 days ago.
For the fall semester?
No, like, I think it's spring semester, but like, if you go to VMACS website, it's called VMCAS, application process only opens for a certain period of time. I just finished my prereq.
Okay, so right now you haven't been accepted at any veterinary school. Is that correct, sir?
Correct.
All right, then, sir. How are you planning on paying for 4 years of veterinary school, sir?
Financial aid.
All right. Are you a veteran?
No, sir.
All right. And you currently haven't applied for any type of financial aid at this time, sir? Obviously not.
From my previous school where I was doing my prerequisites at, yes.
Okay, now I'm talking about for veterinary school.
I haven't been accepted into veterinary school yet.
All right. All right. Now, you did your prerequisites where, sir?
I did my prerequisites at Unity Environmental University.
All right. And how long did that take you?
About 2 years.
All right. And how much do you owe them in student loan? Did you do that by student loan also? Or did you pay for that directly?
No, I went through financial aid. A portion of it was covered through financial aid, and I had to pay a portion of it out of pocket.
All right. By financial aid, you mean those loans or grants?
Loans.
All right. And how much do you owe in those? How much of the total of those loans at this time, the best of your recollection, sir?
Your Honor, I'm really not sure. Like, they give me
more than 20,000, less than 20,000. What are we talking about?
I would assume it's less than 20,000.
All right, then, sir. And what's your MBA in? What area?
Business administration, finance.
You know, I got an MBA in finance too, sir. And every now and then I check around just to see what somebody like that earns, even though I'm not ever going to do it. But okay, all right then, sir. I'm hearing some things here that are just a little out of the ordinary, but I'm gonna go ahead and let the lawyers finish asking you questions, And folks, and I'm about to start doing this by time allotment. Ms. Greenwood, you now have 10 minutes for questioning, and Ms. Ferry, you have 10 minutes after that. Thank you.
Okay. I will try to be brief.
Ms. Greenwood's next, so I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Ms. Parker, Your Honor, if that's okay. So I'll just pick up where she doesn't. So if it's okay, I'd like her to go next. If that's okay, Judge.
All right, then. So try to do it in 10, Ms. Sarah, and but you can go to 15 if you need to, because you're dead light. All right, thank you.
Yes, sir. Now, sir, you said you don't recall how much the house sold for?
That's correct.
Okay. Do you know that the deeds are available online, sir?
I have the deed at home, I believe. Like, I have it at home. I'm just not at home in front of it.
Okay. Sir, I'm showing, maybe this will refresh your memory, sir. I'm showing you the deed records from Dallas County, showing that the house was sold for $296,235. Is that correct?
I know I didn't receive $296,000. No, ma'am.
Okay. How much was the mortgage balance?
I don't have that documentation in front of me. I was behind on home.
Okay. Okay. Do you know how many months you were behind?
I believe 3.
Okay. And sir, you saw what was admitted as ad litem's 1, which was the conditions of your probation. You said that there was more explanation that went along with that, or was it that there was more explanation associated with the protective order?
Both.
Okay. So are you currently on probation for violation of protective order? Yes,
ma'am.
Okay. And the protective order that you violated, was that protecting Mr. Irons or Miss Revader?
Miss Revader.
Okay. And so there is no current protective order protecting Miss Revader, is that correct?
Correct.
It's only the conditions of your probation.
Correct.
But there is a protective order protecting Mr. Irons. Is that correct?
Correct.
All right. And you are continuing to see Miss Revader, although your probation requires you not to.
That's incorrect.
Okay. So who is the girlfriend that Harley stayed the night with on her last visit?
Harley did not stay the night with anyone. Harley was at my mother's house where she was supposed to be.
Okay. Does your mother, how many stories is the house that your mother lives in?
1.
Okay. So if Harley told me very specifically that she spent the night on the 2nd floor in the bed with you and with your girlfriend, she would be lying?
I would believe that she was coached to say that.
Okay. Is Miss Revader's home, Miss Revader's home's 2 stories, is that correct?
That is correct. With her ex-boyfriend living directly across the street. And if I was to be over there,
Sir, here's the deal. Like I was telling Mom, listen to the question, answer the question, and stop. Don't try to extend the information. Just the information was, this is a 2-story house. The answer is yes. And the lawyer will ask the next question. Thank you.
Okay. So if Harley was very specific that it was on the 2nd floor, that would not be at your mother's house.
Correct.
Okay. All right. And have you had difficulties exercising your visitations as a result of conflict with Miss McDavid over the last couple months?
Yes.
Can you tell the court about that, please?
I've asked Miss McDavid. The most recent was I was provided information through a Tadpoles app. It tells how often Harley is at school. After our last meeting, when we were discussing where Harley lives, I was terminated from the Tadpoles app to see where she's checking into school at. It was a storm down here on her, I believe it may have been her last visit or her visit before. I was contacting Orisha to get information so Harley could fly back home. Orisha did not provide that information. I contacted Orisha and asked her, did she want me to drive Harley in a storm, or did she want me to wait until the morning? She said to drive Harley in the storm. Later came back and said, bring her in the morning. I have asked Miss McDavid for contact with Harley. That doesn't happen. It's multiple things.
If your visitation was left largely to Miss McDavid's discretion, do you have concerns with your ability to build a meaningful relationship with Harley?
Absolutely. With the way that it is currently set up, it was $1,000 for me to get Harley home, and I'm having to bring her somewhere that she doesn't even reside.
What do you mean by that?
According to the documentation that I provided to Ms. Nora, Harley is consistently checking into school in in Katy, Texas, consistently. I had this information via email. I was notified from the school that Orisha took me off of her, I guess, the list where they can talk to me about what's going on with Harley. It's been things on top of things. Like, I've tried to maintain and get a relationship with Harley and every time that is happening, Ms. McDavid comes with something new in regards to me spending time with Harley. Can I continue to elaborate?
Oh, sorry, stop. Just a second, sir. Quick question. Has any of this happened since the original court order? Is this something new? Is this
all of that is since the last court order.
All right, thank you. You may proceed. Try to get a time frame on this one, Ms. Farrah. Thank you. Go right ahead.
Mr. Urson, what specifically, you said you wanted to continue. What did you want to elaborate on, sir?
I just feel like Harley is currently in school or going to be enrolled in school in Marlin, Texas, because Miss McDavid is pregnant. So I'm assuming that her parents will be helping her out with Harley. So once again, just another thing for Miss McDavid to try to say, oh, this is where Harley lives. But I know she's expecting a child here soon. So Harley will probably be with her grandparents in Marlin, Texas, Falls County.
Okay. And so you indicated to me, or you indicated in your testimony that you had initially had contact with the school, or you were receiving information through the Tadpole app. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And as part of that, you were receiving notifications of when she was at school and so forth through your email. Is that correct?
That's correct.
All right, sir. I am showing you what's being marked as ad litem's exhibit 2. Let me share my screen with you. Let me zoom that out. Is that the I've marked it there as AAL2. Are those the notices where Harley was attending school at the Sienna Kids Are Kids in Katy, in the Katy area.
That's a portion of them, because you asked me when we spoke over the phone, you told me I didn't have to send all of them. So I just sent multiple weeks and showing consistently on a daily basis that that's where she is.
Okay. And are those a true and correct copy of the attendance emails that you were receiving, sir?
That is correct.
Okay. We'd offer Ad Litem's Exhibit 2, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Urson, any objection to court taking this into evidence at this time for review?
No, sir.
Great. Ms. Greenwood?
Objection, Your Honor.
All right, then, and Ms. Overstreet?
No objection, Your Honor.
Okay, ad items number 2 is admitted, and I'll have reduce those down to a PDF and forward them over to Belinda also. Thank you.
I just did, Your Honor.
All right, thank you.
Okay. All right, sir. Is your mother able to supervise your visits still?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I did not take Harley anywhere. My mother was there the whole time. The furthest me and Harley went when we were leaving, Orisha called the police, and we were stopping at the gas station to get ready to get on the road to bring her back. I was told that I can bring her back on my own, and that's the only time that Harley was not supervised.
Pass witness, Your Honor.
All right, then, Ms. Greenwood?
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Urson, you mentioned in your testimony before with Ms. Overstreet that you were in a car accident, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you receive any settlement for that car accident?
No, ma'am.
All right.
Or, sir, real quick, what were your injuries in that accident, sir?
My shoulder, my back, and my knee.
All right, broken or just traumatized?
Traumatized, not broken.
All right, thank you. You may proceed, Ms. Greenwood.
Thank you, Your Honor. When did you receive your master's degree?
Either 2019. It was prior to meeting Orisha. I think it was 2019.
Okay, so you had this master's degree for 5 years. Okay, thank you. And the dogs that were shown, how did you get those dogs?
Again, I'm friends.
Oh, and so did you pay for those dogs in order to sell them?
I haven't sold a dog. I just said that a little while ago.
Okay, the dogs that you posted for sale, you received them from friends. Did you pay for them did you pay for them?
No.
They were given to you for free.
Correct.
And what jobs are you looking for currently? You said you were looking for a job. What jobs are you looking for?
I just applied to a director position at the airport. The most recent job, the one search I was for today, it was at a staffing agency. So I was trying to see what they had available.
Okay. And do you have an interview coming up for the director job at the airport?
Not as of yet.
Okay. Did you apply for that today?
No, ma'am.
Okay. And the street parties that you mentioned, were you compensated for that street party?
Yes.
How much were you compensated?
$100.
You mentioned that you were in when did you you and Miss McDavid are ordered to communicate through app close. When did you start communicating through app close?
Hold on, I can look. I know originally Ms. McDavid didn't send the request like she was told to do. I notified Miss Nora.
Objection, Your
So
Honor.
the very
Objection, Your
first.
Honor.
Hey, sustain.
Not
Again,
responsive.
sir. Again, sir. Listen to the question, answer the question, and then stop. Thank you.
When did you start communicating through app close?
AppClose sent me a notification. I'm believing this is an official account of AppClose. The AppClose communication was April 22nd. The communication with Miss McDavid was May 1st.
Okay, thank you. And you mentioned that there was some communication about the storm. Was that done through app close?
No, ma'am.
About you having to drive through the storm? How was that done?
Text message.
Okay, why wasn't it done through app close?
Because she didn't accept like she never sent the request like she was told to do in court.
Could you have sent her the request? If based on what you said, could she have sent you that request? Could you have sent her that request?
I wasn't asked to send her the request.
Are you currently in a romantic relationship, Mr. Person?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Okay. And is your testimony that where do you reside?
230 Janet Drive, St. Rose, Louisiana, 70087.
And is that your mother's address?
That's correct.
Okay. Okay. And is it
All right,
your
I'm sorry, sir. What's the closest major city to where you live right now?
New Orleans.
How far away is it, please?
30 minutes.
All right, and is that the airport you're looking at getting the job at, sir?
Correct. The
Okay.
airport is closer, but yes.
All right, thank you. You may proceed, Ms. Greenwood.
Thank you, Your Honor. And is it your understanding from the prior testimony and the evidence admitted that you're on supervised probation until, if completed successfully, until April of 2025? Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. And is it also your testimony that is this your first violation of a protective order?
Yes.
So is it your testimony that you've never violated violated a protective order before, not against this particular person, but any protective order?
This is the only time I've been convicted of a violation of a protective order.
Okay. Have you ever violated a protective order before? Have you ever been charged with violating a protective order before?
Charged, not convicted.
Objection, non-responsive.
He answered kind of. Yeah, I need to know how many times that's happened.
Yeah. All right. How many times have you been charged with violating a protective order?
2.
And if we were to run the system and run criminal records, we'll only find twice that you've been charged. Is that your statement before the court?
To my understanding.
To your understanding.
Correct.
Okay. And back to the back to veterinarian school. You said you are applying, and do you know when you'd start veterinary school?
I would have to be accepted first.
When do the semesters start?
Vet school runs like a year in advance, so I'm applying for 2025 year.
Okay, so you would be looking to start fall 2025. Is that your testimony?
Yes.
Okay. I pass the witness, Your Honor.
All right, anything else on redirect, Ms. Overstreet?
Just one quick question. You said you hadn't received any money for your accident. Do you have a lawsuit pending for that accident?
I have a lawyer, but I am not sure like what's the dollar amount or anything of that nature.
Okay, who is your attorney?
McGinty law firm.
McGinty, like it's McGinty?
That's correct.
Okay, and what city are they out of?
Covington.
Okay, and as far as you know, have any offers been made for to settle your case?
No, ma'am.
All right, thank you. I have nothing further, Your Honor.
All right, anything on the cross, Ms. Farrer?
No, sir.
Anything else, Ms. Greenwood?
No, Your Honor.
All right, folks.
Your Honor,
Yeah, I'm going to give you your opportunity here, sir, also,
Okay.
but discuss plan a narrative about anything you think I need to know because you're your own legal rep, but it has to be, it's got to be pertinent and it's got to be relevant to what we're doing here today, sir. So at this time, under oath, what do you want to tell the court? And it's pretty much based on what you've already testified to, sir. We're not going to go out into a new field and open up a new line of cross-examination. So what do you want to testify to at this time, sir?
okay. I would like to
Now, I'm talking about
testify.
testimony. I'm not talking about a closing statement. What do you want to tell the court about the circumstances? Thank you.
With the closing statements, I would like to say that.
Okay, well, I'll give you the opportunity to make a closing statement in a moment, sir. Right now, I'm giving you the opportunity to give me further testimony.
I'm so confused because you just told me closing statement. I'm lost now.
No, I'm saying this is not your closing statement, sir. Right now, I'm asking for the opportunity. You have the opportunity to give more, to give the court more testimony under oath of what of the circumstances that you've testified to, sir. In a moment, I'll allow you to make a closing statement along with the lawyers. All right.
Okay.
So, is there anything else you want to testify to at this time, sir?
No.
All right, then you can make a closing statement in a moment. Then. All right. So at this time, I'm gonna go ahead and let's do it. Go with closing statements. And I'll go ahead and start with you, Mr. Urston. Then I'm going to go to Ms. Greenwood. Then I'm going to Ms. Farrer, and then I'll go to Ms. Overstreet. Thank you. So at this time, sir, you can make your closing argument or closing statement. Thank you.
It was said that Harley slept over at someone's house. That is not accurate information. The only person's home who Harley even visited was my Aunt Brenda. Harley was at home with my mother. Majority of those days that Harley was there, I wasn't getting off of work until later in the day. Hold on, let me look at my notes because I had a few things I wanted to mention. Okay, Harley was not with anyone. What was not with unsupervised. What was not unsupervised until we were leaving to come back to Texas. As far as the restraining orders, we both had restraining orders on each other. And we both had a violation of a restraining order. My violation happened when she called, well, the police were called, and it was because I told her to stop calling my phone. Me and Miss Revader has not had any conversation. Other than that, I told her to stop calling my phone, and that was my violation of the protective order, because I answered the phone for her. There has been no physical with either party. I was unrepresented. I didn't have an attorney during the court proceedings, so I wasn't completely aware of what my options were, and my my choices were given from a public defender. And she just told me to just accept the violation because it was only a misdemeanor. It was pointed in the direction during court today that Harley may have stayed at Miss Revader's home. Miss Revader's ex-boyfriend lives directly across the street from her. And during the time that me and Miss Revader were trying to fix our relationship, was when the violation also happened. I think that was the first one.
Okay,
but
Mr. Urson, you're testifying now. I know you're not a lawyer and you're not getting this right now. A closing statement, a closing argument is what you want the court to do and why you want me to do it, sir.
I'm sorry, Your Honor, first of all, because I'm completely unaware. Like, I thought you were asking me to make my final statements.
Okay.
I would like to.
Go ahead.
I would like the court to have Ms. McDavid be responsible for some portion of Harley's travel, being that she's changing it on every visit. She's asked me to meet her in Dallas. I did that. She's asked me to provide information that wasn't required by court, but Ms. Nora asked me to do it, so I did that. I am trying to be completely open and capable of maintaining and having a relationship with my child. And I'm really not trying to make this a difficult situation, but it seems like every time we come back to court, Ms. McDavid is having something new and a new issue. So I do believe that she should be responsible for meeting me halfway between Louisiana and wherever she decides to reside at for that day.
All right, thank you. All right, I forgot which order I guess. Thank you. You're next, Ms. Greenwood. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. All right, Your Honor, Ms. McDavid would like to ask again to modify the visitation order. It's one day out the month, either a Saturday or a Sunday in Texas, considering that Mr. Urson has repeatedly violated protective orders, is currently on supervised probation for violating a protective order. The child has given testimony that she was not being supervised by her paternal grandmother, but was in fact with Mr. Urson and a girlfriend, another woman, and it was not at the paternal grandmother's home. And so it's clear that the supervised visits are not taking place. So it's in the best interest of the child that the visits take place in Texas, that they be restricted to 8 hours once a month, and Mr. Urson be responsible for paying the trip cost that comes with that. Secondly, Miss McDavid is asking for that he now have to pay for the medical insurance because we heard testimony that he lost his job, and she has been carrying the child on medical, paying for the child's medical, and she will continue paying for the child's medical. And so we now ask, since he's no longer carrying the child under medical insurance, that he now be asked to carry the child under medical insurance. She is asking for that she be given that you do a disclosure finding, given the fact concern. I'm sorry, for her safety. She does have safety concerns. There is a pattern of that she's experienced with Mr. Urson regarding stalking, threatening. She mentioned that, he put gasoline around her home. So even given the
It was lighter fluid. Yeah. It was lighter fluid.
Lighter fluid. And so that's significant. And so given also not only her experience, but it's clear that there is a violent behavior as we see in the court records in Louisiana, or at least testify to. And as Mr. Irwin says, where I think he's trying to imply that he didn't understand what he was signing, as we've learned that Mr. Urson has a bachelor's and a master's degree, so he's able to read and comprehend what's placed before him. And so for him to say that he signed something and not knowing, that's a hard thing to swallow given his level of education. And it's also, so we're asking that visitation be restricted here in Texas. Ms. McDavid will not be supervising it, but that he be allotted a certain time to have with his daughter, but that it not be, to ensure that he's not taking the child here, there, or violating, taking the child in an unsafe space. And so that's what we're asking for. And also for them to have the nighttime calls. She was open, and like I said, she wants to have her daughter to have a relationship with her, with the father. And so she's open to giving him, getting a set time. So there's no issues as to when he could call, because he did mention that his testimony, she's open for him calling at a certain time every night, and to ensure that relationship stays in place. And so we're just asking for those modifications. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. It's fair.
Yes, sir. In light of the representations of my client to me regarding the visitation, I do have some concerns with regard to where the visitation is taking place. I would therefore ask that the visitations do take place either in Harrison contiguous counties or Falls and contiguous counties. I would not have any opposition to child support being abated temporarily to allow Mr. Urson a little bit more funds to exercise the visits here in Texas, because they will require substantially more funds, him to stay in a hotel, pay for restaurants and activities and so forth. But I do want him to have the time with Harley, because I think that she has been loud and clear that she wants to have that relationship with her dad. She loves her dad. And I think having the visits closer to her home might put Miss David at ease, and also ensure that nothing, crazy happens. Mr. Urson said that the visitations and the overnights were not anywhere but his mother's home. But that's not the information that I received from the child. Whether that was coached or not, I cannot vouch to the court.
All right, thank you. Soda Street.
Yes, Your Honor. As far as the child support, Your Honor, I think that the child support should stay at least the $345 a month. Mr. Urson has a master's of business administration and finance. He testified that he's been working part-time because he's going to go to vet school, but then he testified that at the earliest won't start till 2025. I think it's proven he's deliberately underemployed. So at the least, I think he should pay the $345 that he's already been ordered to pay. I also think, and I did do the calculations. Where did I put them? For the monthly amount, I don't know that he should be paid the full monthly amount, but for the child, the monthly amount for the health insurance is $321.55, and the dental is $18.20. I do think he should be ordered to reimburse Miss McDavid for at least based on his income that we had at the last hearing of $2,288, 9% of that for the medical and 1.5% of that for the dental. And I think everybody else is covered in their closing, all the other issues.
Real quick, is there any visitation that's based on the old order coming up anytime soon?
What do you mean, sir? Like, what do you mean by that?
He was supposed to.
First and third of each month, so.
He was supposed to have last weekend. His next visitation would be next weekend. No, hold on. Because it's only the first and third Thursday, so it would not be until the 6th of June, sir.
Okay.
Yes.
Of course, going to take this from an advisement. I want to go over some of this. I've heard some strange things here today, folks, and it's a little out of the ordinary. But I want to go ahead and take this on advisement, see what I want to do about this, and give myself some time to go back and listen to the testimony again and see what I'm going to try to do. I will let Mr. Urson know. Mr. Urson, yeah, you're underemployed. All right, no ifs, ands, or buts. MBA in finance. Yeah, I once had a district judge kick a woman out of graduate school because he felt like she'd already had enough education and it was time for her to pay her child support. And that district judge was a retired Court of Appeals judge from Waco. So again, so I know what the law is on this, and I know. So again, sir, hey, all more power to you. But maybe looking at you while you're in veterinary school, you might want to get as much as a loan as possible, because you may be paying child support based on what an MBA in finance can earn in the state of Louisiana and New Orleans, and I'm sure we can dig up those statistics. So that's what we're looking at going forward. So, are you currently under doctor's care, sir?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I was like, wait a second, sir. Has your doctor released you to work full time yet, or are you on any type of restrictions as far as medical restrictions as far as working, sir?
Only medical restrictions. I have limited standing, like limited standing down.
Okay, and when's the next time you're going to get an update on what the status as far as your doctor's concerned?
Right now, my doctor is recommending surgery. So I guess on my next visit. All
right then, and obviously most of these accidents don't revolve around lawsuits. Has the attorney given you any time factor as far as how long they think that your case is going to take as far as the accident is concerned?
He has not.
All right, thank you. All right, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and make it. Like I say, take this under advisement. I'm going to
Your Honor?
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. McDavid has her hand up. I think she wants to say something, but before she does, Your Honor, I'm not sure what she wants to say.
I know. Ma'am, have you ever seen a lawyer show where the people in the gallery raise their hand to ask the judge a question?
Yeah.
No, you did not see that. All right.
Yeah.
That never happened. You have a lawyer, ma'am. You can ask your lawyer something, and your lawyer can add, but you're not allowed to ask the court questions. Okay.
Yeah. But I do want to. I
wanted to add,
Your Honor. I just wanted to hold on. Listen to what the judge just said.
We've closed testimony for the day, ma'am. We've closed arguments for the day. Right now, the only thing is I'm holding a debate. I'm holding a reset as far as making my ruling is concerned. So
okay. Yeah, it wasn't. Oh, okay. Yeah, but yeah, it's okay, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right.
Your Honor, are you just going to email us the
I got your email, Ms. Overstreet. I got the ad items, and if Ms. Greenwood would, if you,
I can send hers to Belinda.
All right, then send Belinda her email also. Thank you.
Okay.
All right. All right, guys.
You did say you was going to allow me to make a statement.
Sir, you already did that.
Like literally just now when we were talking, you just said.
Okay, sir. What you cracked out? What did you say, sir? You cracked up.
No, I said you had just said like a moment ago when I was about to say something. You said you was going to give me a moment to say what I was trying to say.
All right, sir. I'm still okay. Just in the interest of justice, sir, what do you want to say?
I was referencing back to you guys were saying I was deliberately being underemployed.
Oh, sorry.
And
I've
been working part-time at 2 jobs, like as long as this has been going on. Orisha McDavid did not contact you guys to put me on child support.
Okay, stop. I'm not listening to any more of that, sir. You have an MBA in finance, man. MBA. I know what that is. I have one. If you're not working toward getting doing something else or doing in another field, you should be out there earning a living on that MBA in finance, sir. And that's what I'm talking about, underemployment. All right. You're not a lawyer, and I know you don't get it, but I do. All right. And now I've just lost my temper a little bit, and my apologies. But again, sir, it might be a good idea for you to hire another lawyer because this is not going well.
Yeah, like,
and I'm
kind of lost if you just like, I know, like, and I'm just trying to understand, like you're saying, if I'm not doing something else to further, like, that's literally what I'm doing.
No, you misunderstood, sir. You misunderstood. It's not if you're not doing something else. You could be doing anything else in the world. Right now, you could be working a job, making $15, $20 an hour, and I would still think you were underemployed with that MBA in finance, sir. Okay? That's my right as a judge. And that's the last time I'm going to explain myself as far as this is concerned. And we're off the record and everybody's dismissed. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.